Hi, welcome to the Pundits Pundit. Jenn Lewis, the professional fan, along with Jacob Christener.
The
And
Pundits Pundit.
hey guys, thanks for joining us tonight. And this is our first broadcast, but we do want to give a special shout out to Sideline Sports, started by Eric Wilson and Alex Fleming. And thank you to JB Ellis, John Shearer, Megan Price, and Jake Malek. Thank you all very much for your support, and we appreciate you very much.
And I appreciate, and especially I appreciate them all, and they know that. And I also appreciate Alex. I didn't get really anywhere near enough time, maybe basically on a sideline, stuff like that. He unfortunately passed on before I really got to know him.
Alex was a special man.
Yeah, and
he really brought me into this.
There is none of this, and I'm not as big as I'm even getting without him starting something like this. So right. I appreciate him big time, and I wish I would have gotten to know him more.
Yeah, Alex is a good dude. Rest in peace, my friend.
Yep.
Okay, so go ahead.
Well, the big thing right now one of the biggest things right now is one lucky part is, even though this is our first show, and I just want to say this part real fast. The other two shows that I tried did not have any ads. It was completely convoluted and ridiculous, and I didn't have any segs, and I had no awesome producers like I got with you right now, or partners, or any of that kind of stuff like that. It's on YouTube. People can go laugh and watch it. We will be in 10 years. So one of the things that we have right now is, at this point in time, we are brought to you by Score or No Score, an app for anybody who likes to gamble, but they don't want to give up money. It is on the App Store and Google. So anyway, what have you found out? What have you seen in the sports world right now?
So today it came out that we have two more gentlemen joining Mr. Brian Flores' lawsuit. Oh. We also had Tiger busting out, coming in below par in his first match golf tournament since the car accident 14 months ago. So congratulations, Tiger. That's awesome. Glad to see you back at what you love.
Yep.
There's been a couple of things that really hit today. What else has gone on?
Well, the thing about Tiger is, I noticed this today. He was not putting so much torque into his swing. And this is what I've been going for ages. It's kind of like I go over the place. Everybody knows this. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of the equivalent. I don't like all the power being used at once, because you can get yourself hurt. Maybe it's me being 44 in August coming up, So maybe I'm playing elder statesman, even if I feel young, but I feel it in my back every morning. So you know how much maintenance it takes to stay around all the time.
Oh, I feel you in that.
Yeah, and it's like, it's all the maintenance that it takes and stuff. So it's like I have this thought process of athletes. I know they're much younger than I am, and obviously better athletes. But right. It's like every one of them feels like invincible. I once did too, and then I blew my back out at 28 for the first time. So and then blew it 2 more times after that. But it's like, it's like when you torque yourself that much, that you keep getting injured.
Right.
And it's the same thing with Jacob deGrom. It's why I'm now explaining that in a little while. But what I noticed with Tiger is he wasn't using all his power, and he was hitting it nice and straight, nice even flow, wasn't trying to kill it.
Uh-huh.
Nice 1 under par, and I'm like, he can just keep it going the way that he strikes that ball. Why not? And it's like, and to me, he would destroy the records. He would have destroyed all the golf records if he would have just kept doing that. But here's the question: would he have been Tiger?
Probably. His father wasn't going to let him be any other person, to be perfectly candid with you. His dad really pushed him. And, I have often wondered if that wasn't, a source of discontent between he and Mrs. Woods. But, it makes you that man. But then, it made Tiger who he is. But it also made Tiger feel like he could control only one area in his life. Mm-hmm. And that was, promiscuity.
Yeah, promiscuity too, yes.
Yeah. And that's sad. But
yeah. I mean, and the biggest, but what I meant by that's Tiger, I mean, his whole golf game was to destroy everything.
Absolutely. And he started and the reason his dad pushed him so hard was because he had such a great natural ability, even at 3. I think that was the first time his dad took him on the golf course. And he just had a great natural ability. And I think his dad played it smart and pushing him, especially as a kid, but not overwhelming him as a kid. And really encouraging him and doing the right things. And I think it was just more pushing as he got older that was able to, really propel him. And at some point, it's also Tiger's decision how hard he wants to push himself. It is right now. Like, they didn't know if he was going to walk, I think, after that accident. Like, it was pretty bad.
Well, he was limping a little today. He was limping a little today on the first, on the first tee. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And did you see Jack Nicklaus?
I saw that. I saw it on Twitter. I was actually working when the Masters kicked off, for a lack of a better term.
Speaking of age, it's like this but see, the difference between Gary Player and Jack Nicklaus is exactly why we need to take a look at our health and keep working.
Yeah.
Because Jack didn't do the same as Gary. Gary does 50 push-ups every morning. He's 86 years old.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's like Jack didn't do all that, and he did well. He's done well. That swing was beautiful. Don't get me wrong. That's a forever golfer. That's just the technique. But he could barely get down on it. He could barely get down. I mean, it's sad. We might have seen the last shot of Jack Nicklaus.
I hope not. I mean, Jack. Well, probably. But Jack is just such an iconic man. I mean,
yeah,
I can't say anything else. Like, just that to me, that's just the perfect word to describe him. So,
you know how we're gonna know our age, big time.
I already know my age.
No, but you already know how we're really gonna know it. Those when we see Jack in the honorarium thing, like not Jack, but Tiger in the honorarium. It's like. Because we've seen it used to be Arnold Palmer, Jack, and Gary Player. Jack's getting Arnold's gone. Jack's getting older. So the Gary Player still he might like 175. I don't know him. But the biggest thing though is like when we see him in the honorarium, probably have a couple others and everything. It's like that's when we're gonna know the mortality.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't see I feel like I grew up with Tiger because we're about the same age, and I remember when he won his first Masters. And I'm not even the biggest golf fan, to be perfectly candid with you. I know enough about it to cause trouble. I know who's who, but most of my golf knowledge does come from pop culture and movies. Not gonna lie.
Oh, tin cup. Tin cup.
No, not tin cup.
No.
But I love that. But I wouldn't say Bubba Wallace. Not Bubba Wallace. The golfer Bubba.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. I'll remember in a second. But Bubba Wallace, yeah.
I loved watching him in all the Entourage movies, and I loved watching him. Oh, yeah. I think Jack Nicklaus was even in the Entourage movie when Ari was doing something. Movie. I know, right?
I saw every Entourage episode, including the movie, so I won't watch Entourage ever again.
I own it all.
I have a weird thing about. I have this weird thing about shows, not necessarily movies. I'll watch movies over, But I have this weird deal about shows. Like, for instance, I've seen every Entourage. I've seen every Mad Men. I am watching West Wing again with somebody because she wants to know more about the political thing, and that's kind of a fictional version of the political deal. West Wing was.
Well, aren't politics today fictional anyway?
Yeah, pretty much, yes. But I'm just saying, just the little things like she'll pause and the person I hang out with, she'll pause and she'll say, "Now, what is this?" And I know enough. I mean, I'm not. My brother knows way more than I do, but I can give idea. I can give what's going on,
Right.
And so I'll do that. But I'm like, other than that, if I've seen every episode, I can't do it again. I just can't.
Right.
I cannot do it again. It's like, it's just, to me, is because it is the ravages of time, especially with the cell phone world. And if you see a flip phone, then you start laughing.
Yeah.
You forget the story.
My dad begrudgingly had to go get a smartphone. He misses his flip phone, but because the Panthers now charge extra if you want paper tickets. And so, and my dad's like, "This is baloney," but he's doing it anyway.
No, he didn't say baloney. We know that.
No, he did. He's just a good guy. Like,
okay.
it's a secret. My mother and I are the cussers in the family.
No, I always say this. It's like my dad's been gone 12 years, and we always laugh because he was around. He passed away in 2010, and this was 2006 is when HD came, and it's like, and he was an older dad, So my brother tries to get him on to the HD. Here, the HD. The score's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, it's all that stuff. And now it's like you gotta think 12 years later he's gonna that's all you can see is HD, and that's probably getting old.
Yeah.
Standard definition is it's never there.
Well, and it's so, I don't know, we're so off topic, but yeah. But it's so different now, especially we do. So when we now I can even tell a difference between 4K or 5K versus, or 8K versus 4K versus regular HD. It's crazy.
Well, you bring up 4K and 8K. It's like, I look at WWE shows once in a while. They got 8K cameras now. And it's like, it is amazing for everybody that wanted to make a joke out of WWE. They are every bit of the technology and, the evolution of technology and sports. They started with like XFL, like the above cameras. They started that. 8K cameras was a WWE. They've started a lot of stuff.
They really have. And it's kind of cool to see. Like, I know, like, my husband's grandmother, she and I were very close. Nanny passed away last July.
Right.
And she was just like, if you knew all the changes I have seen in my lifetime. So, like, just even what we've seen in our lifetime, right? It's craziness. But yeah.
I think of the thing. My dad was born in 1928. My mom at 46.
Okay.
So I think about what was the technology between that.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
What was the technology? That was like let's see, the phones to between 28 and 46 would be the rotary phone to maybe buttons, maybe. Then 1946 to 72, when my brother was born, a phone went on the wall. You know what I mean?
Right,
and then,
yeah.
And then the my thing, and then soon enough we get to the 90s and cordless. Now, one of the things about technology is that so many of these older generation, maybe still alive, are seeing everything go so fast, it scares them.
Well, it's kind of scary. We were watching a movie a couple of years ago, and it's funny because they wanted to move, like they were trying to get some data from some major company, and the major company had put the secure data on a floppy disk. And you know what? That was the smartest thing ever, because you can't really steal it because they had gotten it behind walls, all that good stuff.
Now it's in the cloud.
Everything. Yeah.
Easily stolen.
Hey, Trey. Hey, James.
Yes. How you guys doing tonight?
Hey, Mel. I saw you watching.
By the way, what do you think of opening day?
I'm a happy girl. Growing up in Charlotte, we could watch WGN. So you were either a Braves fan or you're a Cubbies fan. So go Cubbies. Fly that W, baby.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I'm a Kyle Hendricks fan, and bringing up the whole Kyle Hendricks thing, I get into these debates all the time. As anybody sees me on Facebook and Twitter, I stuff anything down the throat. Most of the time I'm right, but I'll stuff it down the throat when I know I'm right. Like, remember I stuffed it down the throat this year, that last 2 years actually, over how he's going to miss in July, how he's going to be out by the end of July.
Yeah.
And I said it this year too, and he's already out in 1 month. Jacob deGrom.
You did say that. I'm so. Yeah. So who do you think is going to go all the way? Oh, and by the way, go Red Sox too. My oldest friend is a huge Red Sox fan, so.
I'll explain that in a minute. But my whole point about it, I was going to bring up Kyle Hendricks. I'm a type of person who wants to see nice in placement and a nice flow. He's missed one. He's had like one injury in the last 7 years, and it's 5 innings, 6 innings, 7 innings. And it's easy flow, and it gets the job done. 14 to 16 wins each year. He's got 83 career wins. He's got more career wins than DeGrom, who the world tries to make the next Bob Gibson.
Right.
And it's like, I'm not mad at Jake.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I hate it when the world tries to make other people, like one athlete, the next version of this athlete. Like, there's similarities, but there's always differences in play because you're a different person. You have different strengths. You have different areas of strength in your physical and your body. I don't know why I can't talk tonight. Sorry. So I kind of always hate that they're comparing that, but yeah.
Well, the training's different, diet's different, a lot of stuff different. I mean, you throw inside too much, they kick you out. I mean, you can't do what Bob Gibson did and just throw and nail them if they do something wrong. I mean, try flipping a bat of Bob Gibson back in the day. Not only would he throw it, he'd probably hit you.
That's true.
He'd probably hit you with a fist if you flipped the bat on him. It's like you can't do that part anymore. The sports world is run by agents and lawyers now. We'll go into that another time. But I know I don't hate, like everybody will see. If anybody sees it on there, they'll think I despise Jacob deGrom. I actually love Jacob deGrom's talent. He's a nice guy. I love his talent, and I mean he can dominate whenever he wants when he's on that mound. But
no, I forgot. Are you a Cubbies fan or are you a White Sox fan?
Yeah, Cubs fan.
Sorry.
It's like, but he blows his arm out just trying to. It's like he's trying to make SportsCenter happy. He's trying to make the fantasy people happy. He's not trying to make himself happy. And then he keeps getting hurt. And he wonders why he keeps getting hurt. And it's like, just place. You have the skill to place. I mean, it's like, see, you have to understand. I was a Kerry Wood fan when I was younger.
Okay.
Kerry Wood. Maybe Jacob deGrom might be more dominant than Kerry Wood for those couple of years. He is. He is actually, because he has like a 1.12 ERA, just ridiculous numbers. But in the comparison of that, Kerry Wood was unreal when he was on. But he blew his shoulder out all the time too, and his elbow out all the time too.
Yeah.
At some point, we got to get over the ego and over trying to make SportsCenter happy. Because 20 wins will get you the contract no matter how fast you pitch.
And here's the thing, and this has been a sticking point. Like my boy Trey, he and I have had this discussion. We're kind of on opposite sides of the fence here. But like, I am a Carolina Panthers fan first, then I'll say I'm a Cam fan, okay? Yeah. That being said, Cam Newton was next 6 days from Sunday, opening night in Denver, 2016. Yeah. The man was never given a chance to recover or heal from all of the injuries until 3 years later in 2019, 2020. At some point, the coaches have to step in and say, hey, you need to sit down. We need you. We need you for the long haul. Get recovered. And that, I think, needs to happen in all sports. So, yeah, sure, the cortisone shots help. The 800 milligram ibuprofen help. Let's be honest, the weed helps, but
sure. Just be honest.
Yeah, like it's what it is.
Yeah.
But the coaches have to coach, because I look at Andy Reid when Patrick Mahomes got injured 3 years ago, and it wasn't even a serious knee injury. It was more like, I don't want to say bruised knee, but it was just more. It wasn't a big deal. But Andy made Patrick sit out for 3 games. And what happened? He comes back. They win the Super Bowl. Sit your players out. Protect their longevity. That's all I have to say. Because it's worth it.
Yeah. The only thing I think about when it comes to everything is so different.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Did you see Trey's comment? It was pretty good.
I don't see it.
Oh, he said that there were more strikeouts than there were homers last season. Baseball needs the Ken Griffey's and Frank Thomases again. What about the Sammy Sosas?
But you know something? This is what people do not understand is they wanted to attack McGuire and Sosa. They want to attack Bonds. And Bonds is the thing that irritates me. Is because it irritates me the Bonds thing irritates me so much they don't want to. You'll get the Super 70 show guy. You'll get him and he'll be like, this is the real home run champion. No, it's Bonds. And it's like, here's the thing. Steroids and any of that kind of stuff doesn't give you a hand-eye coordination. No. It doesn't give you an eye. And but Hank Aaron's one of the all-time greats, but Barry Bonds did not. He struck out like 100 times once.
Yeah.
Just as an absurd eye. He walked however many times.
Right.
He got I think like 2 or 3 different times he got intentionally walked with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
I mean,
he was, phenomenal. And I can't say he doesn't get his respect, because he does.
Yeah.
He's up there. He's
he needs to go to Hall of Fame. He needs to go
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, he will.
See, it's going to be in the veterans thing. It's kind of a joke that he's going into veterans. He should have been a first ballot in truth. It's just, in truth, he's a jerk. He's an asshole.
Right.
He was. And
well, most players are.
Yeah, but he was an ass to the wrong person. He was an ass to the wrong people.
Well, and the thing is, I feel like this is more common in baseball than any other sport.
Yeah.
Because it literally, baseball and basketball, longest seasons out there, right?
Yeah.
Baseball, much longer than basketball. That goes into the whole comment I made about Tiger earlier, where you only have like certain areas of your life you can actually control. So I think that really dictates a lot of the baseball players' attitudes, because they're training 365. I was a competitive swimmer. I had 3 weeks off a year, but I was still training some, not as heavily during those 3 weeks off. But yeah, well, 4 weeks off, because I had a couple of days off of Christmas. But yeah.
See, you brought that up. This is what Pundit was created for. You'll see that. You remember the shorts I got on YouTube?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to keep the shorts up on YouTube as I get these shows now. The reason I brought Pundit is because I was brought up a little different as a fan than a lot of people. I brought my dad for a second. I'm just bringing this up. We didn't have cable in our house growing up. So you get Saturday and Sunday, and that's basically it. Maybe Monday night if it's an NCAA tournament, if it's a tournament game or a final game or something. But you get Saturday and Sunday, so you watch your stuff. And so the thing was, I was a monster Celtics fan with Bird. I was a monster Bears fan. But no matter if they won or lost, okay, go mow. Okay, go rake leaves. Okay, go shovel snow, depending on the season.
Yeah.
And it gives you a perspective. It gives you, when you do that, it gives you perspective. I was done in 5 minutes, win or lose, thinking about it. You're on to something else. So when I hear people, my mom once asked my dad after 2003 if I was going to be sad about the Cubs blowing that thing and blowing the season or whatever, or blowing the chance of the World Series. He was like, "Nah, that's not him." And
when they won in 2016, Out and I decided that the world went into an alternate parallel universe.
And what's going on now? but that was what my thing is like. It's why Pundit was created. It's like I cannot stand a lot of the pundits and the fans' thought process that everything has to be a hot take. That everything is, oh my God, give up on him. Oh my God, fire this guy after every little second. And it's like what you said. You said about you having to train for about 3 weeks. About 3 weeks in swimming. Mm-hmm. So many fans they're not there to see that outside of those little pieces.
They don't see it. They don't understand the work that goes into it. And I wasn't like, I busted my butt.
Yeah.
I trained really hard, but I never made it to the Olympics. Mm-hmm. And you don't always do that, but it was my passion. It was something I loved. Yeah. It kept me grounded. It kept me sane. It allowed me to get out all my excess energy. Because I have a lot of it. I'm kind of a high energy girl. I don't think you've noticed that before.
Oh, no, not at all.
And you're not a high energy boy at all.
Not at all. No.
But yeah, like people don't see that. And like Michael Phelps has been very open about his ADHD. Well, I'm ADHD too. I don't really announce it a lot because I don't use it as a crutch. But he was right. He's like, it keeps you focused. Because my grades went up, everything went up when I was swimming.
Oh God, I am undiagnosed ADHD, and I know it. And I
know it too, honey.
Yeah, and trust me, I won't change for the world, nor will I ever take one pill for it. I love it because it allows my creative juices to flow. It allows my brain to run fast. And
it just means we think a little bit differently, which is fine.
Yeah, I don't. And see, the thing is, I think in truth, you think about kids and everything. I mean, I took martial arts 7 years. I think it was the greatest thing for my little thing. You know what I'm saying?
My brother did too.
Yeah, and it's like to me, all I'm gonna say is I'm gonna have kids one day. I'll be a late dad, but who cares? And it's like I'll be a late dad, and all I'm gonna say, the one thing I want to be able to do is make sure that they've got a lot to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And keep their focus and keep their everything and keep working.
So counterpoint, I am on Ritalin, but it helps me sleep at night. It helps keep me even keeled. It helps me be able to focus and help my coworkers out when I need to. And it just enables me to be as high energy as I naturally am while having a good thought process and being able to keep on track.
Ritalin's on me.
Huh?
Ritalin is on me.
I'll tell you what, I tried Adderall and that stuff made me cry. Like, oh my God, I was pathetic sad.
I've never touched a pill. I've never touched a pill before. It's
don't do Adderall. Kids, don't do Adderall. All I can say. Okay, back to sports.
I won't touch. The thing is, I won't touch pills at all. And I know what whatever weaknesses I have, and I have all that kind of stuff. But I know darn good and well that everything that you see with me is genuine, is on the ball, and it's genuine, and it's like, and it really worries me to have a chemical in there that can bring back. I like where some of the things that I'm able to do.
I think these pills sometimes have the wrong idea. Like for me, Ritalin works. Like it's still genuine. I'm still who I am.
Yeah.
I'm just a little less hyper, and I can think a little more clearly. But that's me.
Yeah.
Like and even when I went on it and I was swimming, it decreased my times. Mm-hmm. So like for me, it was a blessing. No, that's all I can speak of is to myself. But
I think, but as I say, one of the things about it is I'm always afraid I don't want to focus on one thing, even at work.
Right.
I don't want to that's the whole point. A lot of times that people take medicine so you can focus on that one thing. I'm afraid to do that because one of the things that I'm able to do is just come up with an idea like that, whatever the thing on this fly. And that's where my brain works. And it's like, I am afraid to take anything to get that. So, I mean, everything works differently,
Yeah, and different strokes for different folks. For me, I can still think of things off the fly. So, I mean, it doesn't stop my creativity whatsoever.
Sure.
But, I mean, that's just me. But, like, everybody has their own thing. So, my brother refuses to take it. But, I think he should. But that's just because he's my brother. I love him and I'll say that. But
I think the world would want me to also, but it's like but I don't know if I'd be the same.
Only on the NBA Carousel, all right? Shout out to Megan Price, Queen of Hoops.
Megan totally loves me. That's why we have to go last. No.
So can I give one shout out real quick?
Absolutely.
Go Heels. You started out slow, but you ended Coach K's career twice. Thank you. And you know what? I think you know this. I was saying I could see us ending up in the championship game, but I didn't see us winning it. And I said that a while ago. And yeah, so I'm so hats off. You guys did a great job.
Well, and you know something, now I'll tell you this. It's like I'm very happy. I'm very happy for the North Carolina they were able to get there. It's like, and I can say this, that my bracket went to dead after day one anyway, so I was just watching at this point. It's like, and and the biggest thing about it is, I'll tell you this, in that bracket, I did not score. Some brackets those years, I scored. I scored. I scored 2015. This bracket, I did not score completely. But I wanted to ask this real fast for you. I've been bringing up Score or No Score. Have you heard of it?
Yes, I actually have it on my phone. It's fun.
Oh, very well. See, I wanted to bring this to the world. It's like I was bringing it up earlier. I said it is like gambling. If you don't want a little money, mind you have to put a little money in, but it's coins. So it's having a little fun. What you usually do is you pick a game. So let's just say baseball, for instance. You say, will he score in the third inning? You say yes, or you say score or no score. Period. End of story. It is basically, someone said it the other night, it's gambling for dummies.
That's why I use it. That and blackjack. Only two things I gamble with. But thank you, Score by No Score, for sponsoring Sideline Sports. We really appreciate you guys.
No problem. And it is on the App Store and on Google.
Yes. And thank you for letting me give the shout out to the Heels.
Oh, no problem. I was bringing up with I was bringing it up with that. It's like my bracket was dead, so I was kind of rooting for everybody at that point. It was kind of fun. You know, it was fun to see St. Peter's do what they did. But
you know what? St. Peter's was a great Cinderella story.
mm-hmm.
I liked that Carolina ended up being a Cinderella story this year too. And
North
one of the guys I follow on Twitter came up with a new name for Gonzaga, and I love it. Bye.
Well,
you ain't a blue blood, Gonzaga. Quit fronting.
Nah, Gonzaga. See, what people don't understand is a lot of people don't like Gonzaga because they're still in that same kind of mid-major, and they kind of dominate it. But see, they were in that. They were a Cinderella for a very long time, 20, 25 years ago. They were around that area.
Yeah, they were.
And Mark Few deserves all the credit in the world for getting them as where he has. But people have to understand this. It's like it's not as easy as just changing conferences. It's like do the boosters, do the money people, do anybody, do they want to change conferences with the risk of losing and not making it? How much money are they making for getting into that tournament and getting far every year? I mean, they've been to the final. They've been to the Final Four. They've been Elite Eights the year of those times. You know, Sweet 16s. They've been over and over. How much money are they making to that school, and are they afraid? That's the question I have with everybody. A lot of people don't think about it. I don't want people to hate. I want people to think a little bit.
Right. And yeah, you have to think. But you know what? I think people think a lot more. Some people just aren't as eloquent. You know what I mean? So they don't always get their words out. Like, I'm not doing a great job of being eloquent tonight.
Oh, you're doing just fine.
I'm usually a lot more verbose.
Don't worry about it.
But I just love the fact that the Hills did what they did. They started out slow. You know, Coach Davis was getting grief, and you don't come into UNC slow. Well, he did come in slow, but he ended fast, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
And so, hats off, seriously.
Oh, there's no question. Think about Hubert Davis now, as far as the Heels. He's got to maintain it. He's got to maintain it. I think
he will.
Well, there's a possibility. There's no question about it. He's a good coach, but it's like, I think about Nate McMillan over in Atlanta.
Sorry, I heard some loud screaming.
Oh, you're fine. It's like, I mean, a Philadelphia fan down over there saw their team losing. You know, so. No. No, I think of Nate McMillan in Atlanta, they're going to make the playoffs. I love Nate McMillan. I wanted to see a 10-year contract out of him because he figured a way to get Trae Young.
Yeah.
To listen.
Trae Young is changing the Hawks, I've got to say. I mean, and I like that because I feel like the Hornets are on the same trajectory that the Hawks were.
Yeah.
And I can see us going far. I mean, I know we're going to be in for whatever reason, we forgot how to close a game for a while. There, a couple of times this season. I think it was in November we had a losing stretch.
Yeah.
Then in January, then we rebounded. Then again, the last week of February into the first week of March. But we've been doing better. But we're going to be in the play-ins. But as hot as we started, we should have been in the playoffs. But the Celtics are going to be in the playoffs. I think they're number one in the East. As you know, that's the team I rep on the Nba Carousel.
Ime Udoka, he's really doing well for this.
And I think the one similarity between he and Coach Davis is their positivity and their ability to unite the locker room. And honestly, you can't be mad at the national championship because both coaches came from Roy Williams.
Yeah.
And the Carolina coaching.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can't, I don't know. It was a great game. Yeah, it was sad we lost, but I don't know. I was excited that they went as far as they did.
I want to bring up, you brought up the NBA Carousel. I wanted to absolutely bring this up for a second.
Uh-huh.
I am, for the people watching, that has watched the Carousel, I am not a Sacramento Kings fan. It's like, I will explain this. I got onto the Carousel with the idea that because the Sacramento Kings are pretty much the most forward-thinking business team in the league, and I follow a lot of sports business.
Right.
Follow a ton of it, and they're the most forward-thinking team in the league, the owners and everything like that, even though they've been 16 straight years without playoffs. And they're still forward-thinking and everything, and I wanted to talk all that ideas. And then we kind of had to cut some times and everything like that. And it's like, so yeah, my segments kind of looked like, well, I'm kind of going off the beaten path a little bit. And I'm not a Kings fan. I'm a fan of their forward-thinking style and their business sense, but I won't be doing the Kings next year if I do that.
No, I've got a question. Does the Malone family still own?
No.
Okay, they sold a couple years ago, right?
There is a bunch of different owners. Like Shaq owned 4% of the team. He sold his end off for hundreds of millions. So he got like 4% for his end of it. So he owned like 4%. It is like a consortium in a way. There's like a main majority, and then see that Maloof's a little while back. Like
I'm actually surprised you're not interested in what Jordan's doing in the business since with the Hornets.
Well, the thing is, I'm going to study that a little farther. But the reason I was so interested with the Kings is because they were one of the first with Twitter. They're one of the first.
Okay.
That's back then. They're one of the first now with blockchain and with Bitcoin and all that stuff, using it in their stadiums. They were one of the first that's getting.
I thought that was the Clippers and Lakers with the stadium.
The Kings started the idea. The Kings started the idea in the first place. It's like, see, the Kings stink. Kings stink.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So it's like they're not going to get the thing, but the thing is, I'm very interested in what their next step is. Like, for instance, the Seattle Kraken. I'm always interested in what they're doing because they've got a very green stadium in Seattle.
Right.
They've got everything is run by water energy, by hydro energy, is run by solar, is run by plants, green, everything. It's 100%. Right. It's 100% alternative energy inside the stadium.
Okay, that's cool.
So I'm interested in that kind of stuff.
So hot topic today.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Flores' lawsuit. 2 more folks are joining, and I know you and I were talking about this earlier, and we kind of have a difference of opinion.
Oh.
I don't think anybody's in it for the money. I don't even think you think they're in it for the money. I think they're doing it to raise awareness, and it's my humble opinion, just a humble opinion.
You're good. You don't have to explain. You're good.
No. That the Commanders at the time the Redskins cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Megan Emmon, and her bravery and everything she did to bring it out, what was going on. I applaud her bravery, but I think she kind of was like almost made it okay for Brian Flores to sue because what happened to him was wrong. Like everybody knew that was a jacked up firing because look at what he did with that team. And the Dolphins, like half their starting lineup was hurt at the beginning of the season on offensive and defensive side. So, and he did what he did with that as players got more healthy.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought it was kind of jacked up. And then Houston, Lovie Smith deserved another shot at head coach.
Bears fan says yes. Score. Bears fan says score.
Yes. But I do think that there's a lot going on, and I think it's funny, not ironically funny, more so than anything else, but that the coaches that were backing him, like Hugh, what's his name?
Hugh Jackson.
Thank you. I wonder what happened with him dropping out of the lawsuit when he actually had receipts as well, showing that the Browns were trying to pay him to lose.
I want to explain, and you're right on the thing. It's like, sorry if I interrupt you a second.
You're fine.
I don't think it's they want the money.
Right.
There's a here's the deal. That's kind of a loss in translation thing a little bit. We were talking earlier today about it. I don't think they want it for money. I think they want the right thing to be done. What I was saying earlier, and I said this, right now Steve Wilkes is in this, and then there's another.
Oh yeah.
One. And it's like
I knew that was a racial firing when it happened.
Sure.
The man was hired after the draft, after free agency, after everything. He had to work with what he had. He had pretty much no general manager.
Right.
And you know what? I'm just glad Carolina brought him back.
Yeah.
But this season, and thank you, Tepper, for being smart. Thank you, Fitterer, for being smart and bringing him back. We all know I'm not going to give Mr. Rule any credit there.
The rule of 72 losses.
Right. But then it was, I don't know, like I'm that girl who, when I went to high school, it was more like the jocks, kind for a lack of a better term, more the jocks versus everybody. It wasn't really a race thing at my high school. And I think you may have experienced the same thing, but my friend Mark and I were discussing this about a year ago now. Like, we were taught to just respect everybody. That's gone out the window. But that's how I was also raised. Respect everybody. And my husband hates when I say this, but it was more, I was taught, you get along with people or you don't. It doesn't matter. So,
and
I'm not shortchanging anyone or anything like that.
Fine. Oh, absolutely. No, the lost translation thing is some people I thought they were just suing for the money. I don't think so at all.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that.
No, I don't. That's not what I meant.
Yeah.
What I meant is I want them to strip the absolute hell out of these owners. I want them to do it hard. I want them to. I want them to throw them through windows. Not really.
I want Jerry Jones out of Roger Goodell's office because we know they're right next door to each other, probably the peekaboo window.
But I want these owners to pay for all this crap that they pull. So I want to say, but what I was saying, and this is the truth, I said this. A guy, for this to truly happen, it would take the biggest risk in the world. But even though he's the most successful, and I'm the biggest Mike Tomlin fan on earth, it would take someone like him and Lovie Smith to join in. I just truly believe it. I truly believe this is going to take names that have been successful in the past. I don't know if they're going to get any more than a little. The owners get any more to slap in their wrist and say, "Here, pay this out," and keep it.
Tony Dungy, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The what?
Tony Dungy, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovey's not going to. Lovey would have more of a case than Mike Tomlin. Let's face facts.
Yeah,
legit.
Lovey, but the thing is, Lovie Smith is the Dusty Baker of the NFL. Everybody loves him. He gets jobs even when he's in college, pros. He went to Illinois. He got a bowl game out of that ridiculous program. It's like Lovey's loved. His name fits him. He's loved. He's like Dusty. He's loved.
Right.
So, but I don't think with this current amount of people right now that there's any more than a ridiculous settlement that can just eventually happen. And it's like they're not going to learn anything.
And with what the NFL just did and saying that you have to have either a minority or a woman as an offensive, coach. I mean, okay, hire me. I'm a woman. But I also know that I don't know. I've always felt like it shouldn't matter, like your gender, your skin color, but it does. And that sucks.
It's the thing is, do you want to know what they just did? They just hired one of the teams, I forget which, just hired John Fox back out of the.
Oh, I think it's awesome. John Fox should have never been sitting at home. Like John
mothballs. I just meant they got him out of mothballs, and it's like, but the thing is, there's like a couple others that are going to be doing that they're doing the same with. For everything that they're saying, okay, you have to hire this person that's black or this person who's woman. You have to hire this, do everything. They're just going to figure another way around it. And it stinks and it's awful, but you're going to see John Fox back. You're going to see John Fox with another coaching job before you'll see any of the ones that they're looking at.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but John Fox did take the Panthers to a Super Bowl.
No, I don't mean anything wrong. I'm meaning that it's just they're going to figure a trick around something. He was in mothballs for 4 years. And he was in mothballs for 4 years. And
4 years?
Yeah.
He wasn't coaching for 4 years?
Right. Well, he was. Let me think this for a second here. He was fired after the 2018. No. He was fired. He was fired after the 2017-18 year for the Bears, and then he did coaching. He did. He was on the. He was on pregame shows, and then he was basically sitting back for 4 years.
Okay, I'm Wikipediaing it real quick. God bless Wikipedia.
If that's truthful.
He's just hired by the Independence Colts, Indianapolis Colts. He was the head coach for the Panthers 2002 to 2010, Broncos 2011 to 2014, Bears 2015, 2017. Yeah, you're right. I thought he coached after that before
Not
Indianapolis. But
See,
I think he and Frank Reich also knew each other because Frank Reich was the Carolina Panthers' very first quarterback.
it feels awful to be able to say these things because I want everybody that knows what they're doing, they can do it. If they can get it, it's like, I mean, you're talking to somebody who my favorite coach of all time is Pat Summitt in basketball.
Yeah.
And I've told you that more than once, and I've said this part. So there's nothing, it's like, if you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
I mean, period, end of story. So I don't have an issue with that. I'm
100%.
Yeah. So I'm just saying the way they're going to work around this. It's like all of a sudden they said, okay, you have to have all 32 and they all have to run offense and blah, blah, blah. Okay, have fun. We're going to go get the guy who hasn't coached in 4 years. We're going to put him as an associate. And
you heard me say this for a while. I was like, even Rule needed to call John Fox and bring him in as an assistant just because Rule has no NFL coaching experience. And obviously, this little experiment has not gone over so well.
It amazes me that Mitchell Trubisky had a better time with John Fox and Dowell Loggins than he did with Matt Nagy. Oh my God, Dowell Loggins is terrible, and he was better with him.
Well, where did Mitch end up?
Huh?
Where's he playing next year?
Who? Oh, he's in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
He's in. See, and
wait, did they can Dwayne Haskins for not showing up?
No, I don't think so. No, I think he's part of the deal. There's no Ben Roethlisberger. So right now, Mitch is the number one. But it's like, Mason Rudolph has this. He has his head in the clouds, thinking he's going to be the starter. So it's like there's no way in hell he's going to win that. But the thing about it is a lot of people miss the whole thing here. It's like they're all so happy. It's kind of like, and I'm not going to bring this to politics. Just a little point on something.
All right, I give you 2 seconds because that's why you have me.
No. I was saying it's the same part of what we say is everybody saying, we're going to get Trump this time. We're going to get Trump this time. The people are against him. And it's like, we're going to get these people to get the jobs this time. We're going to get this. Everybody works their way around if they don't want it. So we need another. See, you always have to think a little differently. And we got to get the world to start thinking. Right. Instead of getting angry. Because they're getting angry over the things. They're getting angry in the wrong spots. We need to start thinking and debating.
Right. And I'm sick of the anger, but,
That's why the Pundits is invented. That's because, I want the world to think. Maybe it's to my vein.
And for me, and this is just me wearing my rose-colored glasses. I'll wear them next week. I literally have some. But I hate when politics and sports combine, especially on the court, on the field, on the golf course, on the volleyball court, anywhere. I hate it. Like that for me when I was swimming, like that one moment of freedom, like when I'm diving off that block, that's like pure unadulterated freedom. And like, it's kind of a safe place. You're doing it for a 10th of a second, but it's kind of a safe place. And I can't explain it. But yeah. And that's what I wish the players had these days in all sports. I wish that it didn't have to be all political, and it's just, I don't know. For me, I hate because there are 3 things you don't discuss at the dinner table: religion, politics, and money. You don't discuss those 3 things. That's all there is to it.
Well, they're all 3 mentioned in one SportsCenter podcast, the SportsCenter telecast. And
right.
I mean, right on the spot, and that is tough. But I think the biggest thing that causes that now is, like I said, the lawyers and the agents run everything. Why is LeBron James and all the stars allowed to stay out of a game when people paid their money to get in?
Oh yeah, I love Steph Curry. Like Steve Schwanda and I've discussed before. Like Steph would not remember me. I'm a lot older than he is, but he went to my best friend's private school in Charlotte.
Charlotte.
No.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in Charlotte, not Davidson. Davidson's right outside of Charlotte, but no. But Steve Schwanda was the coach of his. And I love how he has that capability to do the right thing and stay out of the politics. Like, I love that because you know what? I have my own opinion about politics, and I don't care what anybody else's opinion is. Just who I
Well,
am.
people, do you realize people talk about LeBron James's business, and he has a great business acumen? Because I mean, the King James Incorporated has done wonderful. He's gotten movies. He's gotten, even though,
Oh, we know that was a horrible movie.
Yeah,
Don't promote that.
He's made money. Is what I'm saying. But no,
Right.
it's an awful movie. It's
because
garbage.
he was totally riding Michael's coattails on that movie.
No, it was garbage. It was garbage. But I'm talking about, he's made documentaries, movies. He's done all that stuff. They're doing great for themselves. Yeah. But people don't realize unless you study business, sports, and business, that Steph Curry's right on his tail.
Steph Curry will supersede him.
Yeah, Kevin
and Aisha and Steph's wife will probably surpass both of them.
Yeah, I know. I saw a book. I saw a book today. Actually, I was walking by and I saw a book today. Aisha Curry, correct?
Right.
Yeah, I saw that, and it's like, no, you see that, and it's like Kevin Durant's on his tail, and it's like, and the one thing I love with the business side of everything now is we're going to see less and less people going broke. I mean, we're not going to see 50-year-old boxers anymore.
And look at your Peyton Mannings, look at your Cam Newtons, look at Eli Manning, look at, I mean, Jameis has a good side gig going on. I forgot what it is, but he's got a side hustle. And I mean, they're making the most out of it. Tom Brady has a side hustle, and then he also has his wife, who's the most wealthy, model ever. So,
TB12 is what I'm studying hard. I'm not saying I'm doing it all the time yet, but TB12 and he has Tom Brady activewear also, but I'm looking at the TB12. And the basic idea of TB12 is to, it's like when you're getting older, that you have peak performance of your body longer than, like you into your 40s, into your 50s. I'm not saying you could be the athlete, but like when you saw Jack Nicholson, he's barely bending over. If somebody does TB12, that's going to end when they're in their 80s. If they do it every day and they follow the thing, it's not for big, huge muscles. It's for for your muscles, whatever you have, to be active, to be constantly active. It's complete flexibility. It's diet. I mean, anybody on that won't be doing what Jack Nicklaus did today.
And can I just say one thing going back to TB12?
Sure.
Caught it. I knew he wasn't really retired. Just saying, caught it. I pissed off. I provoked a lot of people because they're like, no, he's done. He's retired. And I'm like, yeah, watch. He ain't going out without that last Super Bowl ring.
He ain't going to go. But my issue with it is the fact that if he gets the ring, he's going to come back again. He's addicted to keeping going.
Well, you know what? There's worse things to be addicted to.
I know. No, you're correct. You're correct. But I'm just saying what the truth is. I wanted him to go because there's worse ways to go.
Oh, yeah.
There's worse ways to go than your last second loss to a guy that hit a 50-yard pass and then got to a field goal. There's worse ways to go when you had 5,300 yards. I wanted him to go because then who knows if he steps back and hits wrong spot and tears his Achilles.
Right.
And I was like, I don't want that to happen to him. He's going to be the same Tom Brady he always going to be because he's one of the smartest quarterbacks we've ever seen. I'm just talking about he got out unscathed. I don't want him to go out and then never be the same.
Right. And I guarantee you before he decided to come back, he underwent so many tests. He had like a physical like you or I would have never had in our lives.
Yeah.
Like we're talking, if you ever watched Scrubs, when Courtney Cox came on as the new like Dr. Kelso for a while, and she was running like the really rich guy, all of his insurance with all these crazy tests. Yeah, Tom Brady had all those tests and then some.
Yeah.
And I don't like Tom Brady. I'm jealous that he's never played for us, but I don't like him. Only in the postseason. Only in the postseason.
I remember my Twitter when it was during when he was in the free agency market, or everything like that. I remember just saying to people, the Bears world was totally, I want Cam Newton, I want Cam Newton, I want Cam Newton. And it's like Cam, they were looking at 2015 Cam when he didn't have all those injuries.
Right.
And I was like, we don't have the system.
I love Cam Newton.
I know.
I love him. I probably say that one time at the Duke Energy Center Starbucks, I was face to waist with the man because he held the door open for me.
Well,
He's so tall.
He's about 6'5", so I wouldn't say face to face.
No, I said face to waist.
Oh, okay.
Because he leaned across the door and I went underneath his arm without ducking.
He's a big dude. There's no question. Yeah. But this is what I was. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, Cam didn't have time to heal.
Yeah.
And see, what people don't ever get with me is when they fired him the way they did, they didn't give the fans any closure. They did him wrong. They brought him back under Matt Rule. Matt Rule had to apologize. I don't think there's love lost. Like if you saw the picture, no, Jay, I'm 5'8". But sorry, Jay just asked
ask him
about
his hairline.
You just did.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh, thank you, Jay. You're giving me Tom Brady at least for the postseason. On it, thank you. No. Oh, but some people thought I thought Cam would be the same quarterback. No, I knew he wasn't. When we were playing Tampa Bay in the Thursday night game 2018, before he got sat, my dad and I are in the my dad has had PSLs. I pay for half the tickets, so I get to go to a lot of the games. So I'm very fortunate. I live a very blessed life when it comes to the Carolina Panthers. I know this team. I'm an expert on this team. I can't say that about any other team. I can the Panthers. And when we looked at each other when they gave when he had to give the ball CMC to get that last touchdown to win the game.
Yeah.
I called, like, my dad and I looked at each other all through that game. We're like, something's not right. And it was that forensic injury he had. So,
by bringing up what I was saying once, Cam, I was saying I'm talking about the system. I was like the only person that was running the system at all in any kind of consistency, and that's saying a lot about a Matt Nagy thing, any kind of consistency, was Mitchell Trubisky. And I was saying to the fans, no, he's not a Hall of Famer, but this is what I was saying to him. I said, replace him properly. I said it over and over and over and over. Replace him properly. Guess who comes into the picture? Tom Brady. And it's like maybe it's thinking way out the clouds. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying get someone like this that can make what the Bears wants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Huh?
I don't know if you can see the chat or not, but Jay just told you to leave James Evans alone.
I saw that. Trust me, I'm a big James Evans fan. I love the guy. But no, I was saying he would bring the offensive people in. He would bring the system that the Bears would learn how to win again. I said, do that if you're going to replace. Otherwise, leave Mitch. But they wanted to, okay, here comes Foles. They thought, Foles is going to be the hero. Not in this system, he won't. And then guess what? They went to hell. And then he had to go replace it. And see, people don't think about any of that stuff. They live on, I call them emotional nitwits.
Yeah. Well, here's going to be a very inflammatory statement. I know Denzel and Dom will come at me, but I actually think in this quarterback class, I think Sam Howell will be the sleeper. I really do.
No,
I do.
Let me tell you, there's only one way.
He's going to be so much better than Mitch Trubisky.
No, maybe
Jay, no, I would not, only because his numbers were going down. And keep in mind, I actually know his best friend, and he used to laugh at me with some of my Kukumania ideas. But so it had nothing to do with his political stance.
With Mitch. What I'm saying, it has nothing to do with Mitch and why I'm saying that. It's like he may or may not be better than him. That's not my point. It's the fact that I was saying through the last year when I read the article that all he ever wants to eat is chicken tenders. And he is adamant about
get over it.
That is immature. And he had an immature year. And
he also lost all of his O-line to the NFL last season.
Going to have, but here's the thing, though. For him to be there, for him to literally be good. You said it'd be a sleeper, maybe not, but he's going to have to completely change those habits and act like a professional.
Oh yeah, he'll have to eat more and
act like a professional.
You know what, he's having fun right now, so I'm fine with it. But I'm telling you now, think he's going to be the sleeper in the NFL.
He's
Telling
got
you.
he's got to act like a professional. He has the ability. Hey, he has the ability. There's
Right.
no question. But he has to act like a professional. You know? Oh,
I was telling you we gotta start winding down.
Oh yeah, we better get down. It's like I was gonna say this, Jen. It has been awesome.
Yes, it has been
awesome being with you. Love you to death here. And where you showed up? What 50 shows are you on every single week?
NFL Carousel, Alex Fleming's NFL Carousel, NBA Megan Price's, aka Queen of Hoops, NBA Carousel. I'm on the Pundits Pundit. I have something else coming up too. On occasion, I'm on Megan Price's Step Off. And I'm just having a blast doing this. And I really appreciate Alex Fleming bringing me in to the family.
Oh, and I'll tell you this.
And we have a surprise. My girls, Megan and Carrie, and I have a announcement coming up in the next week or so. So be alert. We'll announce it next Thursday night.
Awesome. And it's like, and I'll tell you this. And Jen, I was bringing this up before we had to get to this stuff. So I'll bring this. I did 2 other chances before. I tried this 2 other times before by myself, play a little Colin Cowherd mindset, and I can't run the time. I can't get all this stuff. I know where my strengths are, and I completely appreciate you, and I completely appreciate having someone to play off of. And
thank you. I enjoy it too.
And you and I are going to be a hell of a team. And
I'm
looking forward to this. I am here at the Pundits Pundit every Thursday night. Mm-hmm. I am every Thursday night. Every Sunday, we have Basket Bros with Dom, Will, and Jay. We have those. Mm-hmm. Monday nights, for the time being now, with the NBA Carousel, and I'm also on every once in a while in a guest spots with Sports Arena with guest spots every once in a while. So, and I also have been published in a couple different areas, so I'm staying busy.
Yes, and Scriber Magazine, correct?
Yes, absolutely. It's Scriber Magazine. I'm also on Ricochet. I'm also on Substack.
Awesome. All right, Jacob. Well, I will talk to you later on. Thanks, guys, for watching. James Tatum, Melissa Schatz, Will Vogel, my buddy, Jay. I appreciate you guys. Jacob, it's been a blast. Thank you.
It has been a pleasure. I can't wait to see you next week.
Next week, my friend. Bye.